We're going to take Richard's M down to Bahnstormer Alton and let you know what we think of it. This is Richard's own bike. He's lucky enough to have GS and an M. Bit of a beastie. Check out some of the detail on it though. Look at those carbon fibre details there. And these wheels. It's a beast. Personally, I'd buy one and hang it on the wall. I wouldn't ride it, because this thing has your fillings out. Anyway, stick around, hang on, and watch the rest. Bahnstormer Alton. What a destination this is. Great roads, great burger, great coffee, nice people. This is the sister branch of Bahnstormer Maidenhead. Let's have a look around. And an amazing selection of BMW bikes. M's are like buses, aren't they? So you're a good place to come, grab a burger, scratch off some rubber, and buy a mountain bike. So yeah, what a destination. Amazing cafe. The girl's really good at cooking. Not just a burger van, as Richard called it, it's a cafe. Richard rode in on his M and he's now got no fillings left.
The fillings, right? You get cramped as you accelerate.
Oh well. Right, Rich, tell me about your bike.
So this is the BMW M1000r. So it's in the BMW's M range, which stands for motorsport. It's the high performance range of motorbikes. They have 3 models in the M range, the M1000rr, the R and the XR. The M1000rr is a pure racetrack bike built for the racetrack to be souped up. This is the naked version designed for the road, and then you've got the XR, same engine, bigger bike, and it's really designed for sports touring.
So the track version of this,
The RR, which is built for the track, actually comes, it's about £35,000, but you buy it in its basic form, if you like. You're expected to change exhaust pipes, to add more horsepower, to get it tuned, and do all sorts to the bike and spend a lot more money on it to have it on the racetrack. So yes, out of the shop, it's sort of a similar level of power to this, but it's ready to be souped up.
but just by adding a pipe you can add 10 horsepower.
10 horsepower by adding a different exhaust pipe, yeah. And as this bike here, because it's for the road, it's got a slightly different sprocket set to give it more acceleration,
So you lose a bit.
as opposed to top end speed, which in theory you don't need on the road.
So how does it compare to the S range of bikes?
Right, so for each model in the M range, there's an equivalent bike in the S range, which generally has less power. For instance, the M1000R comes out at the shop with 210 brake horsepower. The S1000R is 165, so there's quite a big difference. However, when we come to the S1000RR, it's actually got an identical engine to this, same power and everything like that, but for the full fairing for the road. But it's got a slightly different sprocket set. As I said earlier, this is designed more for acceleration rather than top end.
So what I've read, you can buy this bike in black or white, is that it?
Yep, so this is called the competition package. The white one is the basic bike, about £20,000. This is about £5,000 more because you get all this carbon fibre, you get the M billet package, and there's a few other things that come on this bike above. So,
do you find the carbon fibre difficult to keep clean?
no, not really, but I do notice there's a lot of brake dust on the carbon fibre wheels. Yeah. So they do take, after each ride, cleaning that off. Easy to clean off, but you just have to do it. And on the point of the wheels, they are carbon fibres. So on the potholes and things like that, you got to be a bit careful of them, because if you hit a pothole and crack one of them, that's £2,000 each.
We know a bloke at Bahnstormer that cracked a...
Well, we
We
do
have.
know.
The sales manager just kept on going on about that.
Yeah, and that was on an M.
It was on an M, yeah. I think his name was Pete, wasn't
I
it?
think it might have been Pete, yeah.
Pete, the goldfish. Yeah, we know him. So, Rich, this very, very powerful bike. Wandering into a BMW showroom, being attracted to one of these, would you say that you'd have to be a professional, a really experienced rider to buy and use one of these?
No, not at all. This bike is really easy to ride. They've designed it with a shift cam system so that at low speeds, it's designed to give a little bit more torque, easy control of the bike. And then as the revs go up through 9,000 revs, it converts it into the higher rev horsepower for the superpower. So you can easily ride it without opening the throttle and ride it slowly. And that's what everyone says compared to some other super bikes. So it's really easy to ride. It's lightweight, and I can reach the ground easy enough. And I'm a short person, so I don't feel unconfident riding this at all. I think
So dodging around sort of local traffic, easy.
yeah, easy through the traffic, easy to handle. Yeah.
Well, I'd concur with that because Richard gave me the keys to it the other day, and I've never ridden one before. I'm a GS rider, and I found it really easy to ride. I actually thought, what is all the fuss about? I twisted the throttle and I didn't think a lot happened. But once you get up in the rev range, oh my God,
And
what a rush.
It's ballistic. Yeah.
What a rush. That's a ballistic missile.
But you kind of get used to it. So when I first got the bike, it was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And as you ride it more, you get used to the bike, and then it becomes kind of almost normal. Yeah.
It becomes one.
Yeah.
Good. So we've talked about how easy it is to ride around the street, through traffic. Carbon fibre wheels, potholes, suspension. I mean, have you got any fillings left?
Well, you threw me with that. Have I got any feelings left?
Have you? Answer the question. Don't dodge it.
So, as you know, we've both got a 1300 GS, which is a super
Magic carpet.
soft magic carpet, glides over the bumps, and a different bike, lots of low end torque, great fun. It's a quick bike, but completely different. And this is what I like about it. I've got two completely different bikes that ride completely different. So, in terms of our bumpy English roads with potholes and all the gravel and all
Like
that,
a third world country.
yeah. So, for me personally, I know people have them as their only bike and they might tour on them. I wouldn't tour on this particularly, because it's not designed for the comfort. It's just a complete buzz for me to go out on it, and then for more serious touring on the GS. But you have got it's all completely automatic suspension, so you've got different levels. You can set it to road or for racing. So
and it's a lot softer in road, and you can deal with the current road conditions in and around Oxfordshire.
yeah.
Okay.
But obviously try and to avoid the potholes on this thing, whereas the GS can go straight through them.
If you do smash a carbon wheel, what are we looking at cost-wise?
Well, that's, as I said earlier, that's £2,000 a wheel, each wheel for combo. So if you hit the front and the back,
Yeah, you're in trouble.
That would be £4,000.
Yeah, just because go to Oxfordshire District Council with a bill for 4,000. They'd love that, wouldn't they?
They would love that, yeah. But,
Yeah.
So yeah, but you definitely want to fight that with them.
Definitely. Well, they're self-insured. So safety features on this bike, things like traction, wheelie. Explain it to me.
Well, yeah, this bike's got a lot of safety controls to help you out, which it pretty much needs. You can set how much traction control you've got to stop the back sliding out, how much ABS and braking, how much throttle response you've got with the engine. You talked the other day when you rode it, you noticed that there was no engine braking. There's actually a setting in there to change how much engine brake you have. You can even adjust how much drift the back comes out as you skid round corners. Yeah, I haven't got to that one yet, so that would be for another day.
Which button's that on?
But it's all in the menu. But the more interesting one for me that I've been playing with is the wheelie control. So you can have wheelies completely suppressed. You could have low wheelies, high wheelies, or just turn it off and flip it. So I certainly haven't been playing with that one yet. But I started, as I say, when I got the bike to learn it, totally suppressed. Too frightened to do a wheelie then. Since then, obviously not on the roads.
Track, yeah.
Yeah, in the right places, I advanced to low wheelie. Got a fright when it went up an inch the first time, but you slowly get used to it. And now I'm in high wheelie mode, getting the wheel up probably a foot and a half. Sometimes give myself a shot, but
You're
usually
talking power wheelie, yeah, not clutch up wheelie.
Power wheelies, yeah. I haven't learned clutch up wheelies yet. Power wheelies, just turn the throttle first,
Up
second,
she comes.
third gear, up it comes, yeah. And if you do it smoothly, it'll come up smoothly. Yeah.
Cool. So those are its safety features. What don't you like about it?
Very little, actually. because you asked me once, would I get rid of it? Would I sell
Well,
it?
I told you to get rid of
And,
it.
Yeah.
When you got it.
And actually, there's
You
nothing.
You didn't listen.
There's nothing that would make me sell it, because the buzz of going out in it is just so phenomenal. You did ask me once if I could only have one bike.
Yep.
What bike would I have? And as difficult it is to say it, it would be the GS over this, just because as an everyday bike, it's still a powerful bike. We've got 145 Newton meter torque. This has got 113, and I think we've got, what horsepower have we got
145
on the 1300? Whereas this has got 210, and with a different exhaust, you can add another 10 on that 220. So it is just a buzz, but for an everyday bike comfort, I would still go with the 1300, yeah, because it's
or the
so much more
1250.
comfy. Or you could go for the 1250, yeah.
Well, 1250 is still not a finished bike in my book. It's still up there.
Yeah.
Riding one at the moment because mine's in for repair again, and I love it. It's not a dead horse yet for me. So you flipped on to torque there, but obviously 0 to 60 figures and 0 to 100 figures compared to GS. I mean, this is chalk and cheese, obviously.
Well, you'd be surprised here actually, because if you look it up, this bike does 0 to 60 in around about 3 seconds, 3.2. And if you look at the GS, it's pretty much the same. And when you look at all the top performance bikes, they can all do it in around about the same. And you think, well, hold on, why? Because this feels phenomenal compared to the GS, yeah. But there's only so much power you can actually do 0 to 60 before it flips over.
Yep.
So we're restrained by the wheelie control.
Yep, and the traction on the rear tyre.
Now, as the speed builds up further, though, this is where the difference comes in. This with the horsepower kicking in will keep going, yeah. Whereas the lower power bike would start to not accelerate so fast, yeah. And it is odd because even 0 to 60 on this brings tears, whereas on the GS it doesn't, and yet it's the same.
Well, you're missing a fundamental piece of plastic up there, though.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's that. I think it's just the feel and holding on. It just feels ballistic, even though it's still 0 to 60 in the same time.
And the sound.
But maybe it's because it just keeps pulling after that. And whereas, not that I go above 60 on the road, but
never seen that.
It keeps pulling. So maybe it's that, but it is absolutely phenomenal when you accelerate it. Yeah.
So it's a buzz.
Yeah.
It's an adrenaline punch.
Yeah.
Okay, so you bobbed into Bahnstormer, got the goldfish to sort you out, wheeled you down to the parts department. There it was. But then what do you do to it? Is there anything you can do to soup it up, add stuff to it? Is it customizable? What can you do?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, the RR is designed to be souped up, and exhaust pipes. You can change exhaust pipes, add more horsepower, 10 horsepower more to it. You can get it tuned and things like that. So, yeah, so it's not that this isn't tunable like the RR, but obviously it's not designed quite as much for that.
What would the exhaust system cost for this if you were put a full Akaprovic on it?
That's about £2,500.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a Krapovich.
And that's a full system. All in all then, total summary, it's not a bike you'd want to sell anytime soon.
No.
You want to keep it. Although I've told you numerous times months ago to get rid of it because you're going to end up up a tree, but you've done very well.
When I bought it, you thought I was
told you to get rid of it.
Around a tree, yeah.
Up a tree, I said. But you haven't. You've done really well. You've become one with it.
Well, I did. I was very cautious to start with. Not that I'm not cautious now, but when I first got it, I rode it in the lowest mode, so in rain or road mode, just to get used to it. And then I've slowly gone up the modes. And as I say, took things a step at a time. So now I've got it set up in race pro mode, how I like it, with a good engine response. I've lowered the traction control, things like that.
So you've got the back end stepping out now?
A little bit, but I've taken it a step at a time and be careful.
And that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Build up to it.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say anyway. Yeah. With any bike, really.
Yeah, because as you know, I'm no professional, so best to start off cautiously.
Yeah. Good answer. Thank you. Well, thanks for coming along today.
Thank you.
And chatting about it. We've got video of us out on the road. Yeah, take a look. You can edit that bit out, but whatever. Thanks for coming along today. Cut.